everyone, you're back with me, Gaby, on Talk to World. Today, we're going to talk about global economic geopolitics 2025. It might sound a bit heavy, but it's really important to understand the global economic in 2025, which is getting more dramatic by the day. And the biggest drama recently, well, of course, it's coming from the President of the United States, Donald Trump. He's just returned to the White House and he's already stirring up the global stage. But don't worry, I'm not going to talk about this alone. I'm joined today by two great guests. First, we have Dimas, an economics who closely follows global trends. Hi Dimas.
Hi Gaby, hi everyone. This is a hot topic. Let's get into it.
And we also have Dian, who works in the import-export industry and really sees firsthand how global change affect business. Hi Dian.
Hi Gaby, hi everyone. I am excited to share some stories from the file.
Alright Dimas, let's start with the biggest news. Trump just returned to the presidency and it looks like he hit the gas pedal right away. It's only been 100 days, but the world is already confused.
Yes, it's serious. Trump is going even more extreme than during his first term. He launched a global tariff war, cut foreign aid, and even talked about making Canada the 51 state taking over Greenland and reclaiming the Panama Canal. This isn't just economy; it's touching on other countries' sovereignty.
Wow, feels like watching a political fiction movie, but it's real. He even told Ukraine to give up territory to Russia just to make peace. That's insane.
Exactly, and America allies are on edge. A lot of them are thinking if Trump is this unpredictable, we better keep up our distance. That's why Europe is starting to move away from depending on the US.
And in business, we feel it right away. Markets get shaky, shipping becomes more complicated, costs go up, and we never know what new rule might show up the next week.
Now, Dimas, a lot of people are saying we're entering a period of global fragmentation. What does that really mean?
A simple but the world that used to work together is now splitting into smaller groups. That global teamwork mindset we used to see, it's fading now. Now every country is thinking, I need to protect myself first. I deal with the world later, maybe.
So it's like everyone's building pins around themselves.
Exactly. The EU is boosting its own defense system, and many African and Asian countries are moving closer to China. Everyone is preparing in case the US change direction again. The world is getting harder to predict.
And the impact is clear. We need to be ready to shift direction anytime. If you use it to really on export the US, now you need to find new markets. Relying on just one country is too risky.
Dian, tell us how do rising global tensions actually affect business from your perspective?
Oh, the impact is real. For example, because of the trade war, it's harder for US to get raw materials from you for overseas. Freeze as everything delivers get delayed, and customer complain when goods arrive late or cost more.
Sounds like it's getting more unpredictable too, right?
Yes, there new rule today, and by tomorrow it could change. Especially if you are shipping to countries involved in the internet this fast, you have to say update on the regulation all the time.
And on the global side, investors are holding back their money. Markets are fully volatile, and people don't know where to invest safely. A developing country get hit hardest because they really depend on foreign capital.
So it's not just politics anymore. It affects the economy, business, and our everyday lives too.
That's right. Economic and politics are now like Siamese twins. You can't separate them anymore.
So Dian, in a world this unstable, how can business survive?
One word, Gaby, flexibility. We have to be ready to adjust at a time. Don't really want one market only. You need to build networks, diversity products, and also strengthen your local reach.
Like having a plan A, B, C, and D?
Exactly, and we can just think short there. We need a long-term vision so we can stay strong through all the uncertainty.
Our decision makers also need to stay sharp. Data is important, sure, but so is instinct. In a world like this, you have to be ready to move before things go wrong.
Alright, before we roll up, I love to hear a quick takeaway from each of you, Dimas.
I'd say this: don't get too comfortable. The world changing fast. Those who adapt quickly are just the one who survive. The old playbook doesn't work anymore. You need to stay flexible and forward thinking.
So true, Dian.
Be open to change and don't be afraid to step outside your old habits. Crisis can lead to opportunity, but only if you are willing to move. Don't wait for the things to settle. Usually, the ones who move first are the ones who last longest.
That was such a rich discussion. Thank you so much, Dimas and Dian. I feel like we all understand the global situation a lot better now. We clearly in the middle of a big shift and we need to stay ready. To everyone listening, thanks for tuning in. I hope today's chat gave you some fresh insight and things to think about. Don't forget to share this episode with your friends and colleagues who want to better understand geopolitics and the economy. This is Tell the World. See you next time and remember, even if the world feels messy, we can still find our place as long as we're willing to learn and adapt. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Gaby.
Thank you, Gaby.